Hiya. I've come in out the wind because I think it's getting a wee bit wild out there. So I'm going to show you how to plant some, I've got some squash seeds and some pumpkin seeds here. If you can see them, I'll show you them in a minute anyway. But basically the pumpkin seeds are left over from the one that we grew last year. And the squash seeds, I just had a butternut squash last week and saved the seeds. It's quite easy to save the seeds. All you do is give them a wee wash, get all the yucky stuff off, put that in the compost bin if you can, or in your food bin. And then you can just take the seeds. If you don't have a garden, another thing that you can do is take the seeds and put some spices on them. Just whatever spices you fancy. You can even do it with sugar, and then put them on a tray and in a low oven, and they'll just sort of toast, and you've got a nice wee snack there. So that's something you can do. You might want to save up a few before you do it, because you don't get an awful lot out of one, but quite nice just to eat in the evening. Anyway, if you do have a garden, like we're lucky enough to do, you just do these. So you just sow them about now. You sow them inside, and you can put them outside as soon as the frost is over, danger of frost is over. So even though it feels quite nice, apart from it's just about to turn just now, but even though it has been sunny, the danger of frost isn't over until about the 3rd week in May. So bear that in mind. But you do want to plant them about now. In Scotland, in England even earlier. So a wee tray like this is fine. If you're using plastic trays, it's better to use green ones than black. The black ones are actually not easy to recycle, they're not recyclable, because the machine that scans them doesn't see the black plastic for some reason, but it sees the green and other colours. So get green if you can, or you can just reuse things. I think I've said that before. There's all sorts of things that you can reuse, like somebody's reused this. It's quite a good idea. Yeah, little basket. Anyway, so just want to smooth that over, chuck it in, smooth it over. Same compost as last time. I've mixed a bit of vermiculite in with it, which is actually a volcanic product. It's pretty good for keeping the compost nice and open and free flowing, and also it sort of bulks it up a wee bit, because you don't want too much nutrient in it, and obviously normal multi-purpose compost is full of nutrients. So something to bulk it up. Doesn't have to be vermiculite, but it can be sharp sand or grit, or some people use cocoa fibre, whatever you like, just something else to bulk it out a bit. So there we go, not too tight but just nice and smooth, and then dump it down a wee bit. There we are, just because there's always some that are not quite as full as you think. And a wee sprinkle on there, that's it. Now this is actually a smaller one than I would normally use for this sort of thing, but I'm using what I've got. So I'll do this for the squashes because they're smaller. So these are the seeds here, if you can see them. They're a wee bit smaller than the pumpkin seeds, which are there. Not much difference because they're in the same family, but you can tell which is which. I'll put them back just now. So what you want to remember is to sow them on their edge, and that's because if they get overwatered, they don't want to be lying on their backs because they could rot. So sow them on the edge. Whoops. Just in a fair bit as well. So with these trays, you don't want them right at the bottom, but you want them up to about that first joint in your finger there, about up to there. There we go, just cover them over. That's it. I'll just do a row of squashes, and then I think you'll get the picture anyway. this. And it's as easy as that. You give them a wee water in. I'll do the pumpkins as well. I'll maybe do them in these wee pots. These are good too. These are actually made of paper mulch. So they're a bit like the toilet roll tubes. You can just plant these straight into the ground and you don't need to worry about taking them out of the pot first. So just fill one of these, just like that. Doof down. There we are. Take a wee seed, and again on its side, so it's lying, oops, not that way but that way. That's it, straight down and down about as far as your finger joint. I mean, you can make the hole first, but you don't really need to, unless you've put the compost, packed the compost too tight. You shouldn't need to, especially because it's going in its side. And there you are, that's how you do one of them. And then you just give them a wee water in. I've not actually got my watering can here, so I'll just pretend I'm doing that just now and I'll get on with sowing the rest of these. Okay, if you've got any questions for me, I'll maybe actually just tell you just now, when you plant these out, what you want to do is, they like a lot of compost or manure, so it's a good idea to prepare the bed a couple of weeks before you plant them out. So you should dig a big hole, you know, quite a big hole actually. They like, each plant takes about a square metre of space, and fill it with compost or manure, well rotted manure, whatever you've got kicking about, and then make a big mound with it. And then they need because they grow so many leaves, they need the water to go straight down to their roots. So if you make a mound, leave the plant up on the mound, but obviously planted in, and then a little ring around it, sort of deeper, so as the water sits in the little ring and dribbles right into the roots. Some people also put a pot in that they can just pour the water, you know, bury a pot in that they can pour the water into, and it goes straight into the roots. I'm not going to do that here because the beds are too shallow, so it could end up, and we're on concrete, so it could end up just coming right out the bottom. But that's a good thing to do if you have good deep beds, or even just straight into your garden. Anyway, I think that's me done blethering now, but any questions, just let me know, just give me a wee message or whatever. Okay, thanks a lot, bye bye.